Video game music has this innate ability to emotionally connect the player to the game. Let me state that I'm not a professional musician, and I'm also not here to sit on a high horse and lecture to you what music is. That said, everyone out there probably has a favorite song from a video game they like. But why did you like it? Aside from it sounds good. For starters, it's way too opinionated to say which game OST is better than the other, right? Wait, right? It's most likely due to the way the composer implemented it into the game for you to experience. Whether it be the start of a new adventure, an intense clash with a menacing boss, or an intimate moment of sorrow. If you don't believe me, take it from video game music composer Koji Kondo, who's made some songs you may have heard of, such as He said in an interview, the ultimate goal for me in making music, or at least one of the main goals for me, is to create memorable melodies. That goal is there regardless of the tools we have. Video game music is supposed to work with the game to elevate it rather than distract. So let's get into the meat and potatoes. I want to talk about some of my favorite video game songs I've analyzed and how I think they were well implemented. Hitting you right off the bat with everyone's favorite speedy blue boy, Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh no, not that one. No, not that one. No, not that one. For sure as hell not that one! Ah, that's the boy. Sonic is one of those game franchises you either grew up playing or grew up knowing of its existence. I mean, if you say Fast and Blue in the same sentence together, someone will assume you're gonna say Sonic next. I mean, I didn't play classic Sonic when I was a kid, but you bet your ass I knew exactly where the theme Green Hill Zone was from. But man, did Sonic fans and soon-to-be fans get an extraordinary surprise in 2017. In comes Sonic Mania. People were stoked. It was a return to the classic with a fresh new mix of ideas. The game starts with the most iconic first stage of Sonic, Green Hill Zone. You get hit with this blast of nostalgia, seeing 2D sprite Sonic zooming by with his most iconic song. But you notice the visuals are all so clean and polished, colors popping with life, neat little changes to the stage, keeping it fresh. And that sweet, sweet remix of Green Hill Zone, remixed and composed by the genius mind of T. Lavsh. As you complete the first stage, you move on to the next, Chemical Plant Zone. I mean, what can I say? They absolutely give this stage the exact same treatment as the last, and you're just like, wow, okay, damn, this is the tone of the game, huh? With both stages, it's amazing to hear the differences of the originals to the remixes in Mania. From new instruments to no longer needing to bit crush the audio for storage. At this point, the devs want to make sure your nostalgia goggles are on. As you finish this zone, the title card for the next stage appears, Studiopolis. Loading into the stage, you are greeted with a brand new song spewing sounds of city pop and funky jazz, followed with a gorgeous color palette. The stage instantly ramps up the tone for the game now, and its second act theme song goes hand in hand with the first, Transcendent. Clever work of the devs paying their respects for the classics in the beginning to then hit you with their fresh new take on making a new classic. That's why when someone says Sonic Mania, I can already hear the theme to Studiopolis in my head. aside from, being a goddamn banger. Also, I can't leave out huge thanks to Sega too, for even greenlighting this project. Sonic Mania is a game created by fans, for fans. Next, let's take a look at adaptive video game music. This is when the music in the video game is affected according to something happening, and this can have huge effects to create memorable moments. A great example is the boss battles of Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Let's take a look at the first boss, the Metal Gear Ray. It's this ridiculous battle between little cyborg you and this colossal anime mech. The two of you go back and forth, trading attacks and dodging to some fitting power metal instrumentals to further the chaos of the fight. That's until you've weakened it enough and it swings its giant blade down toward you, activating the QTE.
Stop that blade! Swinging wide open!
It's so satisfying blocking the blade and the lyrics kick in, pumping you up to defy the laws of physics even more to take it down. Or how in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World the game, the first level song starts off sounding very retro and 8-bit. But as you make your way through the level more and more, the song begins to sound more complex, turning it into chiptune-based pop rock. They even made it so when you go into the tunnel section, the song has reverb. Also, please check out Anamanaguchi, they're one of my favorite bands. Thanks. Another instance is in Super Mario Galaxy, and the main theme for the hub world, Comet Observatory. At the beginning of the game, the hub has many of its areas closed off, and the theme is very quiet and simple. But as you continue to get more stars, you begin to bring the power back to the observatory, opening once closed off areas and more Lumas back. And it doesn't just physically change, the music orientation becomes more complex as more of the orchestra plays. When it's complete, it truly looks and sounds like a home you've restored for Rosalina and the Lumas. Aw, look at those little star boys. There's so many great games that do this, and I could talk about them forever. It's these little things in adaptive music that count. Also, if you're still interested in adaptive game music, you should go check out Noodle's video on adaptive music in video games. He goes more into some of the intricacies of adaptive video game music. It's impossible to talk about video game music and not mention the hit JRPG Persona 5. I mean, come on, even people who haven't played this game love the soundtrack. Not that I blame them, because I wouldn't invest several hours into a JRPG. In Persona 5, you spend several in-game days infiltrating and gathering info on the Phantom Thieves target. As you spend time in your target's level, better known as a palace, you begin to get familiar with its associated theme that plays as you sneak your way around. And their themes match, well, the theme of the palace, while following this game's obvious genre, club jazz, a music genre that combines elements of funk, soul, hip-hop, as well as jazz and disco. As this plays, you're searching discreetly for your target's heart, treasure, thing. I don't know, man, it's a JRPG. So when you've located where the treasure is in the depths of the palace, it's time to act upon your target. In cocky, angsty teen fashion, you send out a calling card to draw them out along with the treasure to steal it. Immediately as you go back into the palace, the entire tone of the game shifts as the theme Life Will Change plays. The song starts with an upbeat, fast tempo, the drums and guitar building up slowly, till suddenly the bass joins in, creeping to the drop even further, and this is where the song truly begins and all the instruments align.
It's not a game, I'm not a robot, and I challenge you. I'm not a phantom, I'm in your face and I'm here.
On full display, this song is now hyping the player up that this is the final run through this dreaded palace you've been slowly infiltrating from the start. It's roaring to you and your team, you've got this. You know exactly where you need to go, making a beeline for it to finally steal the treasure and put an end to your target. It's all thanks to the respective teams amongst the devs who knew how to craft this special moment for the player. I think about this song and always think of how exciting it was to be able to experience this game's visuals, music, and narrative that create its unique world and theme. Also, take this from a guy who can barely stand playing turn-based combat games nowadays and select JRPGs. But the soul of this game is what kept pushing me to see it to the very end. After all the great songs we've listened to and all the moments they've elevated in our games, they become an experience that's part of the journey. And like any other journey, it eventually must come to an end. To me, the credits are a place for the composer to shine even more. This can be a moment to celebrate victoriously for completing the game. It can be a moment for you to look back on your memories from the journey. Or a moment for you to give your thanks to the entire team for making this experience for you. We too arrive at the conclusion of this video's journey, so I hope from the examples I've shown you that maybe there is more to liking music in video games other than it sounds good. This isn't to say people aren't or haven't already been appreciating the love and labor that's put into video game music. But sometimes the composers and devs are too good at what they do and we overlook these moments. I just want to help supply food for thought the next time you find a new favorite video game OST, and to appreciate the masterful ways these artists make us want to listen to their songs over and over. Yo, welcome to the end card of the video. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to me ramble on why I love video game music so much. That said, tell me about some of the songs you love in games, because I haven't played every game in the world, yet that is. Alright, well, catch you later.